The book of Luke, chapter 21, and verse 34, the NLT. Yahweh Shah speaking. Watch out. Don't let your hearts be dulled by carousing and drunkenness and by the worries of this life. Don't let that day catch you unaware like a trap. For that day will come upon everyone living on the earth. Keep alert at all times and pray that you might be strong enough to escape these coming horrors and stand before the Son of Man, Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kakwadash, the honors of the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, the hopeful elect that seeking to be the elect of the nation of Israel. They're scattered abroad amongst the heathen, some look like the heathen. Beginning with the 144,000, preachers, teachers, and prophets, Shalom. Yeah, man, put it on my spirit to look at RFID microchip implant videos. I'm in here watching Elder Pastor Hall's video. Excuse me. And he's eating off another brother's plate. The brother GMS, Babylon is falling. And Lord willing, I'll play that video. All right, because this is the time we in, beginning with the elders and the apostles of the great millstone and the heads of the camps of the great millstone and the younger brothers, have been warning about the RFID microchip, the radio frequency identification microchip implant, which be the Revelation 13 and 16. All right? So we're in a time where, this system is collapsing. Excuse me. Esau is going to offer, in the midst of this place collapsing, breaking down, troubles, traps, diseases, death. All this stuff is happening. So Esau can offer you the solution, which is going to be this. Now, right now, and even in the past, a lot of people are receiving it, mainly Edomites, appear to be Edomites. Most definitely over there in Sweden, they're taking it because they think it's cool and it's convenient. Well, when you don't have any food, when everything collapses, you can't have access to your money. When you can't buy and sell unless you got this mark of the beast, you should ask yourself, why are they going to offer it then? Because that's what they're going to do. They're going to offer it to you when you're at your lowest, when fiat currency is no longer in circulation, and you're going to have an RFID chip with some microchip in your hand to buy and sell. You should ask yourself, why are they going to offer it then? Because you're going to get destroyed for taking it. All right? They're not going to offer it to you now. The technology is here. So they're breaking everything down to bring it to fruition or bring it to the light, to the forefront. All right? Because right now people are able to function and use paper, use cash and things of that nature. All right? So let's go ahead and get Revelation 13 and 16, because as we read in Luke 21, 34 through 36, hey, don't get caught up in this world and their affairs, because these prophecies are going to come upon you as a snare, as a trap to those who are not watching. In other words, to those who are not in tune with prophecy. All right? And that's how this is going to hit you, man, this mark of the beast, man, this digital system, this new way of buying and selling. Hey, you bored jiving and playing around there. You don't know what the mark of the beast is. You don't know the outcome for taking it, and the cancer and the sores and diseases that you're going to receive for taking it. You don't know these things because what? You don't care. See, people don't care until it's last minute. And when it's last minute, they don't consider why Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the elites, this system, this beast system, they're not going to even care to understand why they're offering it now. They're not going to care to understand why this is the solution, when the answer was always in your face, right here in the scriptures, the correct understanding, which is by word of prophets who have the spirit of Yahweh by Shema Shah. All right? which the testimony of Yahweh the spirit of prophecy. You've been told of these things, but you rather deal with the world and the cares of this life. Well, this is going to be their downfall, man. And Yahweh Shema Shai it's got people so full of pride to the point where, hey, they're not going to be willing to cut loose from society so they can still have these things so they can what? Have some type of status or feel some type of way. Revelation 13:16. KJV, and he causeth all, both small, great, rich, poor, free, and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. So you won't be able to function. Alright? Save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So you won't be able to buy or sell unless you got this mark, which this mark goes into a charagma, which is a device that's going to be put into your hand the size of a grain of rice. It's NFC. Alright? Near frequency communication chip. The radio frequency identification chip is going to store all your information up there. See, people are not going to consider why they're offering it or why they are going to offer it when cash is no longer in circulation, man. When businesses no longer accept cash. Okay? When you can't work or function, get medicine, go to the doctor, none of that. These people are not going to consider what's so significant about this chip that they're going to have to take, man. You see? It says, here is wisdom, let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 636. And that's his beast system, which is a digital system. All right, now this word mark, in Revelation 13:16, charagma, a stamp or imprinted mark. It's not a tattoo. It's not the number 666 on your hand or on your forehead. All right? No, it's a device that's going to be put into your hand by way of a needle, man. All right? It says, of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as a badge of the followers of the anti-Mashiach or anti-righteous, man. Anti-anointed. So when you take this, it's a badge of you following this beast system, which automatically makes you what? Anti-righteousness. Meaning you against the Bible, you against the ways of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Making you wicked. Making you a part of this beast system, this anti-righteous system. The mark branded upon horses. Thing carved, sculpture, graven, work, or idolatrous images, Strong's definition. Scratch or etching, which goes into the breaking of the skin, i.e. stamp as a badge of servitude, you see? And that's what it is, a badge or servitude that's going to be on either hand or your forehead. That root word is karax, palisade or stake, palisade or rampart, which that's a device that they're going to use to put it in your skin, man. All right? You get that root word. Grapho, to write with reference to the form of the letters. All right, it's going to have your information all on this device, man. And they're going to be able to pull it up whatsoever they desire. And they're going to be able to track and trace you wherever you go. It's just like your phone. All phones have these NFC chips, these RFID chips. That's what's going to be in you, and it's going to have all your information up there. To delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment, paper, or other material. To write with reference to the contents of the writing. To expressing written characters. You see? This is what's going to be on it, man. Your information. All right? Remember. Come on, man. Proverbs 23. You got to know and understand why they're going to offer these things, man. Or what's the reason behind them offering these things. Proverbs. Let's get it right here. Because it's like, I can't read the top of the scripture. Proverbs 23:1. When thou sittest to eat with the ruler, consider diligently what is before thee. And this is what people are not going to do. They're not going to consider why they're offering it. And why cash is no longer in circulation, and they need this chip to function. And put a knife to thy throat if thou be a man given to appetite. And that's what's going to get people.
This is the real jelly trick.
People are catered to the flesh, right? Meaning what they're given to their appetite, their flesh, their desire. Be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meat. You see? And that's another thing. The things of this world are deceitful, man. It caters to your flesh. People going to want to hold on to it. People going to want their status, as we read in Luke 21, 34, 35, and 36. See, people are so wrapped up into this world that they're not focused on prophecy, nor do they care about prophecy. Labor not to be rich. Cease from thy own wisdom. My husband called the police when he saw me. You see, cease from thy own wisdom. Right? Because your own wisdom is going to get you destroyed. Without set thy eyes upon that which is not. For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle toward heaven. And people are going to lose what they're going to try to hold on to or gain by taking this mark. Eat thou not the bread of him that has an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats, you see. And this bread is going into anything that's pleasing, anything that's any type of nourishments to your flesh, all right, that you can use or need during these times, all right. So remember, you won't be able to buy or sell unless you got this mark. Neither desire thou his dainty meats. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Right? He's wicked. He's evil. And this evil man is offering you an evil device that's going to lead to your destruction. Before destruction, sores and cancers.
Ladies, I'm tired of keeping this to myself. I'm going to
eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee, you see. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with you. Meaning, hey, take this. It's for your benefit. What it say? But his heart is not with you. He don't give a damn about you. The morsel which thou hast eaten, shalt thou vomit up and lose thy sweet words. That's when you're going to come to the realization, hey, it ain't what they say it is, man. All right? It is not what they say it is. What is it going to do to you?
Even after having my third child.
Revelation 16 and 2. And the first went out. Let's start at 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of God Yahweh upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth. And there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. You see?
This is the real jelly trick.
So those who take part in receiving this device in either hand or your forehead, just so you can buy and sell, in other words, eat, have shelter, have some type of status, get medicine, all right? If you take this mark, you're going to be sick, you're going to have cancers, you're going to have sores, all right? NLT, Revelation 16:2. So the first angel left the temple and poured out his bowl on the earth. And horrible malignant sores broke out on everyone who had the mark of the beast and who worshiped his statue. All right, meaning his new world order. So, hey, we telling you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashah, and been telling you, beginning with the elders and apostles of the great millstone, what's going to happen if you become so weak and caught up in the cares of this world, and you take this mark of the beast to try to prolong your life on this side. You're going to have cancers. You're going to have sores. You're going to be in so much pain. You're going to be smelling your flesh burning from the inside out. Because this technology is not meant to be merged with humans, man. All right? We're a different type of flesh body. All right? Different type of energy. Now, you get this word noisome, kakas. It says 3. Let's start A. 2A. Base, wrong, wicked. 3, troublesome, injurious, pernicious, destructive, baneful. You see that? Strong's definition. Properly refers to effects, depraved or objectively injurious, bad, evil, harm, ill, noisome, wicked. Alright? So Yahweh Shema Shah is letting us know that, hey, this is the type of pain that you're going to receive, man, and what it's going to lead to. And you're not going to be happy when you be receiving this pain, these ailments. Hey, the CV is not the mark. But hey, you see how people feel bad and they haven't been the same, and a lot of people went back to the spirit world. You see how they felt, you see how they feel, and you see where they are now. That's a foreshadow of what's to come when you take this right here. All right, and people gonna be able to see and know who took it. All right, why? Because they're gonna have sores, cancers. All right, now you get the word grievous. It says paneros, full of labors, annoyances, hardships, bringing toys, annoyances, perils. It says, 2, bad, of a bad nature or condition. A, in a physical sense, diseased or blind. You see, people are going to become diseased or blind. All right? B, in the ethical sense, evil, wicked. All right? Hey. Whew. Malice, guilt. So this is what's going to happen when you take it. Let's get the word for sores. We got the words noisome and grievous. Let's get the word for sore. I'm sorry, I overlooked it. Hold on now. Here it is. Hellcast. A wound, especially a wound producing a discharge of pus, a sore and ulcer. You see? It says, yeah, that's it. You see? So it's going to be what? A wound, produce a discharge of pus, a major infection. All right? That can't be cured. It cannot be cured. It's going to be burning through your flesh from the inside and out. It's going to be burning. All right? And it's going to be, people going to be able to see it, okay, with the naked eye. A sore and ulcer. So people going to be walking around looking like burnt Nestle Crunch bars, man. All right? And what's the end result for taking it? Revelation 14:9. It says, doom for worshippers of the beast. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, the beast going into this Roman Empire, America, NATO and the EU, this system, and his image, this system, this new world order, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture, into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Meaning you're going to get destroyed by the missiles. So you can have the sores and the cancers. You can be in pain until Yahweh Shai, to the Heavenly Father sends Yahweh Shai to blow you up with the missiles, man, to destroy America. The smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, a long time, and they have no rest day or night who worship the beast and his image. You see? So going to them pains and them sores, hey, you got to do what they tell you to do. That's the whole point of this social credit score. Okay? This point system. It's based upon behavior. They're going to be able to turn things off and turn them on. All right? In other words, they can hack you. And they're going to hack you. Alright? In the midst of this, hey, you burning from the inside out. You got pus and sores coming out of your body. You hurting in pain. And then you're going to get destroyed by the missiles. And they have no rest day or night who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. You see that? So, hey, remember, real quick, you got to know who your enemy is, man. Because your enemy, which is Esau, even the so-called white man, this beast system, they're going to be the ones that's going to offer it to you. Why? Because you are going to be in dire need, dire straits. All right? And that's what us as a hopeful elect, that's seeking to be the elect. Just got to take heed to the word, take heed to the words of Yahweh Shai, as we read in Luke 21:36. Watch ye therefore and pray always, so that hopefully we may be found worthy to escape all these troubles, going to what? The hour of temptation. Which the hour of temptation is in the tribulation period, and we're in the beginning stages of the tribulation period. All right, it's going to intensify. Ecclesiastes 12:12 and 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like his iron rests, so is his wickedness. So you got to know who your enemy is, and that's Esau Edom. All right, and his wickedness never goes away. Though he humble himself and go crouching, and yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rest has not been altogether wiped away. Right. You can't take away his wickedness. This man is the wicked. For everyone who says, when I say everyone, I'm talking about you Israelites, 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Native American Indians, Hispanics, Latinos, Jamaicans, the Haitians, who think the so-called white man could be saved, who want to say, well, the things they did, yeah, it was horrific. It was bad, but that's in the past. God forgive them too. Well, you keep on believing that shit, because these them same devils that's going to offer you this damn device and going to get your ass pussed up and daggone and destroyed. It says, set him not by thee, lest when he has overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him stand at thy right hand, meaning don't trust him, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Right, because that's when people always realize and understand who this devil is when it's too late. When you could have took heed the whole time, but you bull jiving. But it's okay, Yahweh Shema Shai got you in that state. Better you than us, and we pray that Yahweh Shema Shai keep us on the right side and don't transfer us over to the left. In other words, please don't take your Holy Spirit away from us, man. It says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent or any such as coming out wild beast? Right, who is going to pity you for dealing with a damn snake, man? See, that's y'all problem. Can't nobody tell you nothing. All right? Esau is that wild beast, and you're going to be bitten by that damn snake, man. That's Esau, that damn venom. All right, it says, so one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he'll imagine how to throw thee into a pit. And this pit is this beast system, man. This is what Esau doing. Remember, he's going to offer it to you at your lowest point, when you can't buy or sell, when cash is no longer in circulation, when you can't buy or sell, unless you got this mark of the beast, unless you bow to this beast system, so you be plugging into the system. It says, and he can paint it like it's so good too. And he can say the smallest things, and he's going to be contradicting himself as he always does, or do, however you say it. And people are going to be so low, hurt, in need, sick, hungry. They're going to say, man, I don't care, man. I'll take it, man. I got kids and shit. You know, the women going to be like, I need to take that. You know how y'all do. The kids say, Mama, Daddy. Well, probably Mama. But anyway, kids say, Mom, Dad, I'm hungry. I don't feel good. And people can be like, man, I got to get my family out of the damn cold, the heat, away from these crazy folks. away from the animals, away out the elements. They hungry. They need medicine. That's when Esau gonna come in like the serpent that he is. I got what you need. You see? Alright. And your ass will be in that pit, man. That's his system, and it's gonna get you destroyed, as we read in Revelation 16:2 and Revelation 14:9 on down. He will weep with his eyes, but he will find but if he find opportunity, and it's not if, he's going to find opportunity, he's going to do it. He will not be satisfied with blood, right? He don't want to hurt you, he wants your soul. He wants you destroyed. This is what he do. Esau know he can't get the birthright back. He know he going out of power. Going through that Revelation 12:12, he coming down with great wrath because he knows he has but a short time. So he gonna take everybody out with him that he possibly can over here in America. So he don't want to just hurt you, he wants you destroyed. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. You see? I mean, Yahweh Shema Shai gave us the game. You know? I mean, it's right here. Alright? Revelation 2, or is it 3:10? I think it's 3:10. Let's get that joint real quick. Revelation 3. I think it's shit, my damn shoulder. Let's get that joint real quick. It says, yep, Yahweh Shai speaking throughout Yahweh Shema Shai, KJV, because thou hast kept the Yahweh Shai speaking, because thou hast kept the words of my patience. I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. Keep who from the hour of temptation? The elect of Israel and Israel only, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Christians, y'all still gonna be here. You got to make a decision. Which y'all finish anyway. All right. You see, y'all not prepared for these times. All right. Majority of the Christians not. You black, Negro, Native American, Hispanic, Latino, Jamaican, Haitian Christians, you're through. Excuse me. All right. Most of y'all gonna stick to that bull crap y'all in, man. And y'all not built for these times, because y'all wasn't even expected to be this far. Thought you were gonna get caught up. And as we told you, through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shema Shai, you gonna get caught up, all right, caught up in these damn prophecies. All right? And this coming upon all the world to try them. It says, behold, I come quickly. Behold, it says, hold that fast which thou hast. That's our faith. It's true that no man take thy crown. Him which is going to salvation, him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of God Yahweh, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my God Yahweh, and the name of the city of my God Yahweh, which is New Jerusalem, meaning you part of the elect. Meaning, hey, he gonna be your God, and you gonna be his children, the elect of Israel, which cometh down out of heaven, from my God Yahweh. It's about new city Jerusalem, Revelation 21, the elect, the church. And I will write upon him my new name, refresh. All right? Refresh. All Israel gonna have the name Yahweh Shai. You know the name Yahweh Shai. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith to the churches. And that's the elect of Israel today. All right, now when you jump back up to verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. And I believe the brother Kazak Yala brought this out, but I believe he got it from another brother, if I'm not mistaken. You go into this word, hour of temptation. Now this word hour is going into a season. It's a time frame. It's a season. It's not going to be 60 minutes. All right? It's a season, hour, hurrah. A certain definite time or season fixed by natural law and returning with the revolving year of the seasons of the year, spring, summer, autumn, winter. So you see just going into what? A time frame. All right? 3, a 12th part of the daytime, an hour. The 12 hours of the day are reckoned from the rising to the setting of the sun. 4, any definite time, point of time, moment, you see? So this is the season, the hour of temptation. Now you get this word temptation, parasmos, It says an experiment, attempt, trial. So it's an hour of what? Experiment. An hour what? Attempt. An hour what? Trial. An hour what? Proving. Okay? It's a trial for the elect, man. Alright? So only the elected Israel are going to pass. Alright? And this is only, really, Yahweh Shema Shah is only testing the elect. Alright? That's all the Lord cares about. The hour, the season of proving. Alright? It says, B, the trial of man's fidelity, integrity, virtue, constancy. You see? So, we got to stick to our morals, man. We got to stick to our religion, man, our customs. We got to stick to Yahweh Shema Shai. We got to walk by faith and not by sight. It says, an enticement to sin, temptation, whether arising from the desires or from the outward circumstances. You see? So, when we're no longer able to be attached to this this system, and the only way you're gonna be a part of it and be able to buy, sell, mean, or function, and have these things, food and things of that nature, it's a season of enticement, man, temptation. That's why we got to cut these things off, man. Now, when you get this root word right here, it says paradzo. It says to try whether a thing can be done to attempt to devour. All right. To try, make trial of, test for the purpose of ascertaining his quality or what he thinks or how he will behave himself. Now I want to get where it says pricking. All right. So to examine, to prove. Para. I believe it's the word para. A try, experiment, attempt. Oh, here it is. The one right here. Root word etymology from the base of G 4008 through the idea of piercing, you see? So it's the hour of piercing, as we just broke down the word mark in Revelation 13:16. All right? So, right now, people think it's all fun and games. But when all hell break loose, you better consider why they want to offer it, or why they're going to offer it.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. It was really good to see you today. Cut!
That's a wrap.
Thanks, guys.
Just a minute. You wanted me to make some content, so I have some questions for your microchip implant.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What was the craziest thing about getting the microchip?
Getting the tattoo afterwards?
Does it make you a cyborg now?
I think so.
Are you worried about being hacked?
Not really.
Do you need to charge it?
No,
How does it affect your biology?
I don't think it does. It just makes me even more fabulous.
Where exactly is the implant? Is it in your skin, in your muscle?
So it's just under my skin, and it's about the size of a grain of rice.
How has the airport experience been with it?
It was fine, but I was a little bit nervous going through, but it actually doesn't do anything, thank God.
Is it magnetic?
No, but you can get little magnet ones that some people put in the tip of their finger so they can lift up magnets.
What would your grandmother say about this?
I think she'd love it.
What do you think about being a cyborg in physical form, just machine versus muscle?
I can't wait to be even more merged with machine. Honestly, it's kind of pathetic the way I am at the moment in this meat sack.
So, is this the best decision you've ever made?
Yeah, that's definitely up there, and getting the Neuralink will be an even better one.
That's crazy. Thank you.
Bye. Love you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
You see? Painting, trying to push like it's all good. Well, we read to you what it's going to do to you. We read to you how it's going to affect your biology. All right? And she said the Neuralink is next, which that's out now. All this stuff is here. And this video, I believe, was October the 22nd, 2025. Yep. Now I'm going to see if I can find this video of the brother. Now this the video right here. The brother's channel is GMS Babylon is Fallen 144. The title is Revelation 13:16. All you need to know about the microchip implant mark of the beast. All right. So I'll put the link to this video in the description box. Well, let's play this portion of it.
Sweden, a woman waves her hand over a scanner and boards the train. No ticket, no phone, no wallet, just her hand. Inside who've made this choice. What started in one country is now spreading across the globe. And the Bible warned us this was coming. Most people think the mark of the beast is something far off in the future. Something that will happen during obvious end times. Something we'll see coming from miles away. They're wrong. The technology isn't coming. It's already here. And it's not being forced on people. They're lining up to get it. We're talking about subcutaneous microchips. Devices the size of a grain of rice, inserted just beneath the skin, usually between the thumb and index finger. A quick injection, less painful than a vaccine, and it's done. Permanent. Always with you. These chips do what used to require a wallet full of cards. They unlock office buildings, start your car, log you into your computer, store your medical records, and most importantly, they let you buy and sell. Over 50,000 people worldwide have already accepted these implants. That number grows every month. Tech companies are promoting them. Hospitals are using them. Governments are testing them on their own employees. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is documented reality. The company Biohacks International has implanted thousands. 3 Square Market in Wisconsin made headlines when they chipped their workers. In Germany, entire corporations have adopted the system. In Belgium, government offices are running pilot programs. But here's what makes this different from every other technology humans have invented. This one goes inside you. Your phone can be turned off. Your credit card can be left at home. Your laptop can be shut down. But a chip under your skin, that's with you when you sleep, when you shower, when you pray. It becomes part of your body. And that's exactly what makes it so dangerous from a prophetic standpoint. Because Revelation 13 doesn't talk about a device you carry. It talks about a mark you receive on your right hand or on your forehead. A mark that determines whether you can participate in society, whether you can buy food, sell your labor, survive. For centuries, people read those verses and wondered how such a system could ever work. How could one man control all commerce on earth? How could anyone enforce a rule that says no one buys or sells without his mark? They wondered because the technology didn't exist. Now it does. The infrastructure is being built right now, not in secret underground labs, not in some hidden government facility, out in the open, in shopping malls, office buildings, hospitals, train stations, and people are accepting it willingly. They see the convenience, the security, the speed. They don't see the structure being built beneath it all. A structure that could very easily become the system Revelation warned about. Now, before we go further, we need to be clear about something. But these chips are doing something equally dangerous. They're normalizing the concept, training an entire generation to think it's normal for technology to be inside the human body, building the exact infrastructure the mark will need, creating a world where buying and selling are controlled by a mark in your hand. The foundation is being laid, and most people have no idea what they're preparing for. Let's look at where this all started. Sweden didn't stumble into this technology by accident. They engineered it deliberately, and they became the testing ground for something the entire world is now copying. It started in 2015. A company called Biohacks International, led by a former body piercer named Johan Osterlund, began offering microchip implants to Swedish citizens, not as a medical necessity, not as a government requirement, as a lifestyle upgrade. Osterlund's pitch was simple and appealing. An implant is just an extension of the body. It's no different than wearing a smartwatch, except you can't lose it. And Sweden listened. Within a few years, thousands of Swedes had the chip injected into their hands. They used it to enter their workplaces without badges, board trains without tickets, pay for coffee without wallets, even unlock their homes without keys. The technology itself is straightforward. It's an RFID or NFC chip. the same type used in contactless credit cards, encased in biocompatible glass. No battery needed. It only activates when it comes near a reader. Then it transmits a unique code, a digital signature that identifies you. Small, simple, effective. But Sweden's embrace of this technology wasn't random. It fit perfectly into a larger plan already underway. Sweden has been working for years to become the world's first completely cashless society. Their central bank, the Riksbank, has published reports stating that physical money will disappear. Economist Niklas Arvidsson from the Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm said it plainly: Sweden will probably be the first country in the world to completely eliminate cash. The microchip fits that vision perfectly. Better than credit cards, better than phones, because cards can be stolen and phones can die. But a chip under your skin, that's always with you, always ready, always connected to the system. Swedish banks noticed, retailers noticed, and quietly, the infrastructure began changing to accommodate chip users. More readers installed, more systems upgraded, more businesses accept payment by hand wave instead of card swipe. But the chips did more than replace wallets. They began replacing identity itself. Swedish officials started seeing potential beyond just payments. The chip could store medical information, emergency contacts, blood type, allergies. In a crisis, paramedics could scan your hand and instantly know how to treat you. It could grant access to secure buildings. Government offices began testing the system. Wave your hand, the door unlocks. No badges to forget. No cards to clone. It could verify you are who you claim to be. More reliable than a password. Harder to fake than an ID card. Suddenly, the chip wasn't just about convenience anymore. It was about control. Not forced control. Voluntary control. The kind people choose because it makes their lives easier. And that's the genius of how this is being implemented. No one is holding Swedes down and forcing chips into their hands. They're choosing it, standing in line for it, paying for it themselves. Some even throw chipping parties where groups of friends get implanted together like it's a social event. Why would they resist? Sweden is a nation built on trust. Trust in the government, trust in technology, trust in experts. When authorities and corporations both say something is safe and beneficial, Swedes generally believe them. The culture itself made them ideal candidates. Swedes value minimalism, efficiency, simplicity. A chip that eliminates the need for keys, cards, and cash appeals to that mindset perfectly. But there's something deeper happening beneath the surface. Sweden demonstrated to the entire world that mass acceptance is possible, that a modern, educated, free society will voluntarily implant tracking technology without coercion, without force, without resistance. They proved the mark won't need to be forced. It just needs to be convenient. Professor Rachel Botsman from Oxford University, an expert on digital trust, studied the Swedish phenomenon. Her conclusion was chilling. Sweden is a laboratory for social trust. What works there can be exported to the rest of the world without difficulty. Sweden opened the door, and other nations were watching carefully, especially those who saw potential beyond convenience, those who saw control. While Sweden normalized the chip among ordinary citizens, Germany took a different approach. They brought it into the workplace, and that changes everything. In offices across Munich, Berlin, and Frankfurt, employees started receiving an offer. Get chipped, and you'll never need your employee badge again. Never fumble for your access card. Never wait at security checkpoints. Just wave your hand and walk through. For companies obsessed with efficiency, it was an easy sell. German corporations didn't market the chip as futuristic or cool. They marketed it as practical, a security solution. In a nation where precision and order are cultural values, that message resonated. One technology firm director in Munich put it bluntly: cards get lost and passwords get forgotten. Implants don't. He's right. An employee can't forget their chip at home, can't lend it to a colleague, can't lose it in the parking lot. It's always there, always working, always tracking. And that's the part they don't emphasize. Because these workplace chips do more than unlock doors. They log when you arrive, when you leave, which areas you access, how long you spend there. Some systems even track productivity metrics tied to the chip ID. Your employer knows exactly where you are. Every moment you're on company property. German workers in tech sectors, engineering firms, and biotech companies accepted this without much protest. They saw it as part of working in a modern, secure environment, the kind of workplace that values safety and accountability. But not everyone was comfortable with the implications. Miriam Vogel, a digital policy analyst and president of the organization Future Impulse, issued a warning that most ignored. When work identity becomes intertwined with the human body, the boundary between person and company begins to disappear. Think about what that means. When your ability to do your job, access your workspace, and prove your employment is literally embedded in your flesh, you're not just an employee anymore. You're company property, in a sense that's never existed before. And what happens if you quit? Get fired? Decide you don't want the chip anymore? The technology can be removed, but it requires a medical procedure. And some companies are writing chip compliance into employment contracts. Refuse the chip, and you might not get the job. Remove it, and you might violate your agreement. This is how voluntary becomes mandatory without anyone passing a law. No government forces you to get chipped, but your employer requires it for access. And you need employment to survive, so you comply. Not because soldiers held you down, because you need to pay rent. Germany proved something Sweden didn't. The chip doesn't just work for consumers, it works for corporations. And corporations have power that rivals governments. They control jobs, income, benefits, career advancement. When companies adopt the chip as standard practice, millions of people face a choice that isn't really a choice at all. Accept the technology or accept unemployment. And the model is spreading. Companies in other nations saw what Germany did. They saw the efficiency gains, the security improvements, the control. They want it too. But corporations weren't the only institutions paying attention. Governments were watching, and they saw potential that went far beyond managing employees. Belgium didn't make headlines like Sweden, didn't draw attention like Germany. But what happened in Brussels might be the most significant development of all. Because Belgium brought the microchip into the government itself. In the heart of Brussels, home to the European Union headquarters, government employees began testing implantable chips for administrative purposes. Not across the entire civil service, just pilot programs, small trials, quiet experiments that most people never heard about. But the implications are massive. These weren't private citizens making personal choices. These weren't corporate workers boosting productivity. These were government officials integrating their bodies into state systems. The chips allowed access to secure government buildings, eliminated the need for multiple security clearances, streamlined identity verification across different departments and agencies. One European official, quoted in an internal report on digital innovation, said, "The microchip simplifies what previously required cards, codes, and multiple verifications. It is an agile system and difficult to counterfeit." On the surface, that sounds reasonable. Efficient government is good government, right? But listen to what's actually happening here. Government databases, the most comprehensive collections of citizen information that exist, are now being linked to devices inside human bodies. Your identity, your permissions, your access rights, all connected to a chip under your skin. Claire Mias, a digital policy researcher at the Center for European Studies, saw the danger immediately. She warned, when the state begins to integrate identity and implants, it opens the door to a model where the citizen's existence depends on a device he does not control. Read that again slowly. Your existence depends on a device you don't control, because Here's the reality. You don't program the chip. You don't decide what information it contains. You don't determine who can read it or when. The state does. If the government decides your access should be revoked, it happens instantly. If they decide your permissions need to change, you have no say. The chip in your hand obeys the system, not you. Belgium's experiment remained small scale. They didn't roll it out nationwide, didn't mandate it for all government workers. But they established something far more important than numbers. They established precedent. They proved that a modern democratic government can integrate citizen bodies into state infrastructure, that it's technically possible, legally allowable, administratively practical. And in government, precedent is everything. What starts as a pilot program can become standard procedure. What's optional today can become required tomorrow. Not through dramatic announcements or new laws, just through slow, quiet policy changes that most people never notice until it's already normal. Now step back and look at what these three nations accomplished together. Sweden normalized it socially. Germany normalized it economically. Belgium normalized it governmentally. 3 different entry points, 3 different justifications, 1 same technology, and none of them are stopping. The question isn't whether this spreads further. The question is how far it's already spread while we weren't paying attention. While Europe was building the foundation, the rest of the world was watching and learning and implementing their own versions. This is no longer a European experiment. It's gone global. In the United States, a company called 3 Square Market made international news in 2017. They offered microchip implants to their employees at their headquarters in Wisconsin. Over 50 workers volunteered immediately. The company presented it as a breakthrough in workplace convenience. Employees could purchase food in the break room, access computers, and unlock doors with a wave of their hand. The CEO called it the next evolution of workplace technology. The American media covered it like a quirky tech story, a novelty. Something interesting but not serious. They missed the point entirely because 3 Square Market wasn't the end. It was the beginning. Technology companies in California's Silicon Valley started offering it. Firms in Texas explored it. Startups in New York tested it with their staff. The corporate heart of America is willing. They're just waiting for wider acceptance. But while America debates, other nations are acting. In Mexico, the approach was completely different. Not convenience, not efficiency, security. Mexican officials in high-risk positions began using chips to prevent identity theft and control access in dangerous zones. In a nation where organized crime can compromise documents, steal credentials, and forge IDs, the microchip became something harder to fake, an implant that verifies who you are, even when everything else has been stolen or destroyed. Mexico showed that governments will adopt this technology when national security demands it. And once that door opens, it rarely closes.
On the cutting edge, we were interested today to hear that more than 100 law enforcement officials in Mexico are having microchips implanted in their arms. The chips allow a person to be scanned, sort of like a cereal box at the supermarket checkout. In Mexico, this will be one more tool in the fight against crime. Here's ABC's John McKenzie.
You've seen it before, right out of Hollywood.
Maybe a little uncomfortable.
A microchip inside the body. A hidden, high-tech identification tag.
They're the access codes to your job spot.
Now, Mexico's Attorney General and 160 of his deputies have had microchips implanted in their arms to control access to the country's new Criminal Investigation Center. It is to provide access, said the Attorney General, to the right people in exclusive areas where there is valuable, sensitive information. The microchip, the size of a grain of rice, is injected under the skin and gives off a low-frequency radio wave. A scanner reads each chip's identification number to verify an official's security clearance.
The microchip is tamper-proof, it's secure, no one can take your microchip and use it to their advantage to gain access to your facility.
The chip, developed by Applied Digital Solutions, is similar to those used in the U.S. to identify and return runaway dogs. In humans, it can have several uses.
Little stick.
The chips can also be programmed to carry medical information. The one in this patient details his blood type, allergies, and the fact he has Alzheimer's disease. The device is now awaiting approval from the Food and Drug Administration. Some researchers are developing microchips for use in the home, so that wearing one can turn on lights and open doors. Hands-free. The next step, say researchers, is developing an implantable chip with a global positioning system to track people miles away, whether kidnapped or lost, just as cars can now be traced. A kind of LoJack for the body. John McKenzie, ABC News, New York.
That is our report on World News Tonight. I'm Peter Jennings. We hope you have a good evening. Good night.
Brazil took yet another path. In the tech centers of Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro.
That's it. We're going to stop it right there. I'll put the brother's video in the description box. And you can watch the whole video. Stay pretty, pretty, how about Shah? Shalom.